So we are here with a chess champion, a Georgia State senior champion for which year?
2018.
2018. You know, it's incredible how time goes fast.
Can't believe it's been.
I mean, 7 years,
7 years.
gone. And now you are more involved in chess than before because you are a TD, right?
Yes, I am.
That has taught you a lot of stuff, right, about chess compared to just being a player.
I've been in and out of that code book a lot, the rule book, so much. All this testing I've done in the last year and a half, actually, and I'll be testing for senior
For senior TD.
coming up as well. And,
So after you can become a FIDE arbiter.
yes, exactly.
You know, I had the
National TD. And,
the exam for FIDE arbiter with Grant Owen, that went then to work in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But then they told us, you need to be a senior TD or a national in order to have a FIDE. Oh, wow.
Correct.
Thank you for telling me later.
Yes. I just felt that the Georgia chess needed some strong TDs. I wasn't planning on it, ever getting into become a tournament director. I just felt there was a need in the state of Georgia for players, tournament players like myself. I played at least 60 tournaments last year over the board.
Wow.
I play so many tournaments over the board, so I have that experience as to how to, approach being a TD. Getting that different perspective, it's important. It's more than just the book. There's a lot of things in tournament directing that aren't covered by the rule book. But as a player, I have an understanding of how to handle the situation properly. So I stay humble. I'm very active playing still. I'm playing the Georgia State here, and as well as tournament directing. And I was helping the GCA as logistics chief for almost 2 years now.
What does the chief logistics chief do?
We have to take stock of all the inventory and the storage in the warehouse, and we have to order supplies. We have to make budget proposals to get those supplies ordered. So we have all the equipment that we need for every tournament. And then I have to put a crew together for setting up and taking down the tournament as well, for setup and takedown, and for logistics. Period. Just someone to help me bring the equipment to the tournament. Preferably at least a couple of people, depending on the size of the tournament. And there's all the coordination. There's also coordination involved in logistics as well. With this venue, I have to meet. There's a woman, Maggie, she helps with events. She runs the events here, so I have to meet with her and make sure she understands how I need the room set up for the tournament hall. Because sometimes the table's got to be a certain way. Like team events, they got to be different than individual events. The setup is when you got a 5-board team, you got to have the tables put together certain configuration for the team events. It's different than the individuals. So I have to also do that part of coordination, and then I have to. I got to bring in the crew. I mean, I've been doing a lot of TDing as well lately.
And I think there is an advantage in OTB compared to online. In online, we are all paranoid about cheating. In OTB, probably it's very, very difficult that happens because after all, you know everybody, you see everybody. So
we're April 27th, 2025. We're in the middle of beyond Fisher boom of chess. Beyond, I came out of the Fisher boom. I learned chess while Bobby Fischer was winning the world championship on the television.
How old were you when?
3 years old.
And you started in that time?
I started in '72, I think, is when he was winning the championship. I was still only 3 at the time. And so my mother taught me. She asked her how do you make the moves? She showed me the moves, and I immediately asked her to take me to the library so I can check out books on chess, and then I taught myself. I'm still self-taught because I consider chess as just one lifelong adventure for me.
A journey.
I like to keep it that way. I lose still just like anybody else. I mean, I'm not, I have to learn the hard way still. And it's okay. It's just an adventure. Losing to me is part of winning. And it's part of life.
What do you think about the revolution of chess thanks to engines? Now everybody prepares themselves and their openings with engines, so they have.
I'm not a big fan of what engines have done to chess, but as humanity, I mean, we're striving to solve this big puzzle of chess. I mean, it's got as many variations as 120 zeros after the one. I mean, there's only 80 zeros after the one number of atoms in the universe. So you're talking 40 more zeros as of possible moves in a single game of chess. So the engines, I can understand using them to help us solve chess. I hope it doesn't get solved in my lifetime. I don't think that'll happen. Probably won't happen in my teenage daughter's lifetime. But I feel, I just feel like it's just robbing people, the engines, when they can just go and get the answers from an engine to what happened in the game they just played, if they won or lost or what have you, what they could have done differently. I've never been dependent on that.
Because the problem is, however, for professionals, it seems they are using sometimes the fourth best move to try to catch the opponent out of preparation, because everybody has access to the engines and they prepare their things. So in a sense, what Magnus was saying of starting to play this chess 1960 or freestyle chess could be a way to avoid that kind of preparation.
I'm a big fan of chess 960. Thank you, Bobby Fischer, for that contribution to chess. You get to experience positions you would never experience in modern openings. You have to think on your feet. There's no engine that's going to figure things out, from memory. I mean, you can't go back and learn from an engine. I mean, you could, but there's so many different variations. I mean, it just would take the fun out of it. That's what engines are starting to do, is they just take the fun out of it. Out of chess. Win or lose or draw, I'm just in it for the adventure. I've had more successes later in life than defeats. It's not like I plan it that way. I spent most of my childhood and college years and 20s losing more than winning. But now it's turned around and I'm winning more than I'm losing. And it comes from I just still have a passion for the game. And Chess 960 has helped me with that.
So do you think if in Georgia we would organize some Chess 960 tournament, you would be interested in participating?
Absolutely. I would love to be a part of that.
But since you are a TD, you could also TD.
Correct. I'd like to get it rated. I would like to get it rated, but if we have to start out without USCF rating it, we start out that way. But I'd like to see that happen, and I could help make that happen.
But for example, also if we start without a USCF rating, couldn't we start at 1500 and then the statistic will tell you immediately how strong you are after a certain number of games? In USCF is 25 now.
25 rated games, yeah.
Because that statistically tell you how strong a player is, right?
Yes, that's the USCF. They've got to come into modern times here with a potential variant rating system. They need to come up with a rating system, I think. They're already doing online ratings for Blitz and Classical and Rapid.
And Chess 960 could be played like a Rapid, so in a day you could have a 8-9 rounds tournament, right?
Sounds like a blast. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. I
Yeah.
would definitely sign up for that. As a player, as a TD, if I can help make it happen.
But how do you think there are some kind of problems or for chess 960? Because after all, nobody knows the initial position. So we would use the same initial position for each board, or divide them in groups. What do you think they should do in order to make it work?
Everyone has the same position.
Everyone same position.
No
okay.
different. And make sure it's alternating boards.
So they don't
so
copy
they
each
can't
other.
Copy. I don't really. I mean, as long as you explain how the castling works, that's the only tricky part. Online, at least,
It's done by the engine, so by the computer, so
to
it's very
figure
easy.
out how
yeah.
to do the castling. It's everything. Otherwise, all the rules of chess still apply. So I think it'd be fun. I think we should pursue this.
Okay.
Fisher Random is the future for sure. I mean, you can't believe he came up with that so many decades ago.
Yeah, and nobody tried to implement it before.
And now, I mean, yeah, now it's just a thing of beauty because there's no way to prepare for it. You have to think through every move. And, so
Okay.
that sounds like a good plan to me. I think
Okay.
we should certainly try to make that happen in Georgia here.
Yeah. Thank you very much, William. And I
You're
wish you a good day because now you have to go to play your round at the Georgia State Championship. Thank you.
You're